So how did I make £128,000 on this little candle here? Well, to start off with, this little candle is a 3 month time frame. So let's actually delve into how this trade materialized, why it was taken, and at what point I came out. So let's delve straight in. First of all, let's take us back to a daily time frame to start off with. This trade was based on the euro dollar currency pair here. And of course, when it comes to trades and the amounts of money that you can make in trades, it is of course relative to how much you're trading with. So if you have £1,000 in a trading account, are you going to make 128,000 in a single trade on a currency pair? No, you're not. So it is relative in that regard. However, the point is this trade. So let's have a little delve into it. First of all, what we'll do is we'll come back out to a 3 monthly chart, because on this we can see that the euro dollar price here came down to a low back in late September, right way down here. And at that point, that was lined up with this low of 1989 and this high here in, I think it was 2001. Now, for any of you who are a little bit clever, you'll say, well, Charlie, the euro didn't exist in 1989. No, it didn't. But this is a composite of that. So when prior to the euro coming into existence, we had like the German mark and the French franc, etc. So anyway, the euro had come down into a major support level. I'm not trying to buy it when it comes down right at that point, but we knew that it would come down into historic lows from back here in 2001 as well. So if we now take it into a daily chart here, so we can see that's the point where it came down. I'm talking about a trade which actually I initiated over here on this day here, on this big up day. So what had been going on is the euro had been starting to form a bit of a base, a bit of a potential bottom. It had come up from the lows. I've got some moving averages on this chart here. Then it had come back down. We knew at this point, well, we didn't know at this point, but once price had come up to here, we knew this point was a what? A higher low. So once price had broken up to a new high here, we knew that this is, at least in the near term, a confirmed higher low from a technical analysis perspective. Now, on this day here, this was actually a non-farm payrolls day, so it took it was a big economic release day, and that gave it a load of volatility, and the euro perked up. So I didn't get in right at the bottom. Nope. With my traders, we got in somewhere, I think north of 98, I think it was, and then we started adding along the way. So that's one of the things that we will do. We'll add to the positions along the way. Now, is that it? Is it just that? So what we've got so far is a bit of intermarket analysis. We know that the euro had already hit historical previous price levels. Then it had come up and made a series, or it was only once we came up here that we had it confirmed that we've got at least a higher low. Then we've come back down again here, and then on this day we had a huge amount of volatility and price driving back above the previous day's high, but also there were other things going on. There was still a huge amount of positive sentiment at that point towards the dollar. And here was an article in Bloomberg Business Week saying, can't stop, won't stop. The Fed has turned the US dollar into a wrecking ball. There's no end in sight to the carnage. So from a sentiment perspective, when we start seeing articles coming out, which are still essentially talking about the dollar still increasing against the likes of the euro. So the euro dollar going down, which is the dollar still appreciating and gaining in value. So when we start seeing headline articles like that from reporters, then you have to start looking the other way and saying, okay, maybe this whole trend that we've had previously is nearing the end, at least for a given period of time. because usually when you start seeing lots of articles like that, and there were a number in that month beforehand, still highly bearish towards markets like euro dollar and very bullish towards the dollar, then if everyone's bullish towards the dollar, who's left to buy? That's essentially the story. So we knew we had that sort of setup there, that the ingredients of a sentiment backdrop which was very bullish the dollar, but also combined with technical backdrop of price coming down, testing historic lows, and then starting to form a base. Then we're just looking for the excuses to get in, waiting for something like a key news day, like that non-farm payrolls day, and then essentially, it's just literally just a case of riding the trade out. And I'm not going to say to you that I rode the trade right the way up to where we currently are, because that's not true. I actually was out. I think my final exit was actually around here, in the 105s in early December. So I was in from early November. It was a 1 month trade, and we added in along the way. And that sort of thing goes on a lot in my trading room in my community with our traders. I'm not trying to be right on every trade. I'm not trying to have a 70% win rate. I'm interested in stalking the markets, and plenty of the time while I'm stalking the markets won't actually be giving me what I want. Sometimes you're stalking the markets, you're putting trades out there, and they don't amount to anything. They go up a bit in profit, and then they just fall back over. But when we get the big ones come in, they're what make your year. And this was, fun enough, was my biggest trade of the year last year, right in the last month. The previous trades in the year, we'd had some fantastic short side trades. Some of the biggest trades I'd had all year were all on the short side until that final trade here on the long side there. Do I regret not closing out and not carrying on with the trade? Never. You trade according to your plan. I had given levels to come out up in that zone there, and I traded according to that plan. And I think that is what's most important in trading. Hopefully that gives you just a little bit of a snapshot of a typical sort of trade that I'll take with our members.